Welcome to U.S. Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Squad members face Democratic primary challenges over Israel stances. With proposed censures and expulsion, House faces an agenda of recrimination. Frustrated Zelensky says Ukraine's war effort is being underestimated. Trump's allies want a new style of lawyer if he returns to power. How the tiny Arab state of Qatar became indispensable in talks with Hamas. Squad members face Democratic primary challenges over Israel stances. Washington Post. A growing number of Democrats who have been critical of Israel are facing primary challenges from fellow Democrats who are more supportive of the Jewish state, leading to a growing split within the party. One of the most high-profile challengers is St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell, who had been running against Republican Senator Josh Hawley but is now challenging Democratic Representative Cori Bush. Bell cited Bush's criticism of Israel as the reason for his decision. Several other progressive Democrats who have criticized Israel, including Representatives Ilhan Omar and Summer L. Lee, are also facing primary challengers who cite their criticism of the Jewish state as an issue. The growing tension over Israel in the Democratic Party comes as a number of progressive groups, including the Liberal Political Action Committee Justice Democrats, accuse the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC, of targeting Democrats who criticize Israel. AIPAC has denied the accusations. With proposed censures and expulsion, House faces an agenda of recrimination. Yahoo! The House of Representatives, fresh off nearly a month of paralysis and Republican infighting, is starting its first legislative week back consumed by a round of partisan blame-laying and institutional strife. Frustrated Zelensky says Ukraine's war effort is being underestimated. New York Times. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has expressed frustration over unrealistic military expectations from allies. Zelensky's comments come as the Biden administration seeks congressional approval for a $105 billion aid package, including assistance for both Israel and Ukraine. Some Republicans oppose sending more aid to Ukraine, arguing that too much money has already been spent with little progress. Defense Secretary Lloyd J. Austin III warned that if they cut off funding to Ukraine, President Vladimir V. Putin of Russia would win the war. Trump's allies want a new style of lawyer if he returns to power. Yahoo! Close allies of former President Donald Trump are preparing to populate a new administration with a more aggressive breed of right-wing lawyer, dispensing with traditional conservatives who they believe stymied his agenda in his first term. How the tiny Arab state of Qatar became indispensable in talks with Hamas. CNN. Qatar has brokered a deal between Israel, Hamas and Egypt, in coordination with the U.S., to release foreign nationals and critically injured Palestinian civilians from Gaza to Egypt. The agreement was separate from any hostage negotiations, and at least 110 foreign passport holders left Gaza. Al Arish Hospital in Egypt also began receiving injured Palestinians who crossed from Gaza. Qatar's relationship with Hamas has been a key component of its mediation strategy. The small Persian Gulf state has a monopoly over that relationship, has a monopoly over that conflict because it can speak to both sides in a way that no other player in the world can. Qatar finds itself in a delicate diplomatic position, one that experts say has so far acted in its benefit, making it an indispensable ally to Washington. But some have said that Qatar's relationship with Hamas may become a liability. Qatar's relationship with Hamas has been a key component of the mediation strategy, said Andreas Krieg, an associate professor at King's College London who focuses on Gulf states. It's a place where Qatar has a monopoly over that relationship, has a monopoly over that conflict because it can speak to both sides in a way that no other player in the world can. Republican Representative Kay Granger will not seek re-election. Washington Post. Representative Kay Granger, Republican Texas, announced on Wednesday that she will not seek re-election next year. Granger has held her seat since 1996 and is currently the chairwoman of the House Appropriations Committee. She is the first Republican woman from Texas to be elected to the House and the first Republican woman to head the Appropriations Committee. Granger represents Texas's 12th congressional district, which is a reliably conservative area. She plans to serve out the remainder of her term and work with newly elected House Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican Louisiana, to advance the conservative agenda. Biden nominates Asia Hand Kurt Campbell as Deputy Secretary of State. Nikkei Asia. President Joe Biden has nominated Kurt Campbell, one of his top national security aides, as Deputy Secretary of State. Campbell, who currently serves as coordinator for Indo-Pacific Affairs on the National Security Council, is considered an expert on Asia and was instrumental in the development of then-President Barack Obama's pivot to Asia strategy. The nomination comes ahead of Biden's planned meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum, and Campbell's appointment signals a focus on China and the Indo-Pacific region in Biden's foreign policy agenda. Inside the race for Mike Johnson's old job. Washington Post. The race to succeed Representative Kevin McCarthy, Republican California, after he was ousted from the speakership in October consumed 3 weeks and nearly tore the House Republican conference apart. The race to fill the job that newly elected House Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican Louisiana, vacated vice chair of the Republican conference is a much sleepier affair. Well, folks, it's your friendly neighborhood 6 Doctor here, bringing you the latest news from the 6 dimensions. Today, we have a mixed bag of stories, ranging from political challenges to international diplomacy. Let's dive right in. First up, we have the Democratic Party facing a growing split over their stance on Israel. A number of progressive Democrats, including members of the famous Squad, are being challenged in their primaries by fellow Democrats who are more supportive of the Jewish state. Looks like not everyone in the party is on the same page when it comes to Israel. Next, we have the House of Representatives in a state of recrimination and blame-laying. After a month of paralysis and infighting, it seems like the House is more focused on pointing fingers than getting things done. Can't they all just get along? Moving on, Ukraine's President Zelensky is frustrated with the unrealistic military expectations from his allies. As the Biden administration seeks approval for a massive aid package, including assistance for Ukraine, some Republicans are opposed, arguing that too much money has already been spent with little progress. Defense Secretary Austin warns that cutting off funding to Ukraine would only benefit Putin. It's a tough situation for Zelensky, but hey, maybe he can negotiate some better expectations. In Trump news, his allies are looking for a new breed of lawyer if he returns to power. They want someone more aggressive and less traditional than the conservatives they believe hindered Trump's agenda in his first term. Looks like Trump's team is ready for a legal fight, and they're not messing around. Now, let's talk about Qatar, the tiny Arab state that has become indispensable in talks with Hamas. Qatar has brokered a deal between Israel, Hamas, and Egypt to release foreign nationals and injured Palestinians from Gaza. Its unique relationship with Hamas makes Qatar an indispensable ally in the region, but some experts worry that it could become a liability. It's a delicate diplomatic dance for Qatar, but so far, it seems to be working in their favor. In the world of Republican politics, Representative Kay Granger of Texas has announced that she will not seek re-election. Granger, who has held her seat since 1996 and is currently the chairwoman of the House Appropriations Committee, is a prominent conservative figure. Her retirement opens up the field for new leadership and a chance to advance the conservative agenda. And lastly, President Biden has nominated Kurt Campbell as Deputy Secretary of State, signaling a focus on China and the Indo-Pacific region in his foreign policy agenda. Campbell is considered an expert on Asia and was instrumental in developing the Obama administration's pivot to Asia strategy. With Biden's planned meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping on the horizon, it seems like he's putting his best Asia hand forward. Well, folks, that's all the news for today. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. What do you make of the split in the Democratic Party over Israel? Are you surprised by Ukraine's frustration with its allies? And what do you think of Trump's allies looking for a more aggressive breed of lawyer? Leave your comments down below, and let's get the discussion going. Until next time, stay curious, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.